targets and you take no prisoners. 1 minute you're up $500,000 in soybeans, and the next, boom, your kids don't go to college and they've repossessed your Bentley. Are you with me?
The revolution starts now.
We have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Turn those machines back on!
And we have to start by building a wall, a big, beautiful, powerful wall.
Show me the money!
You are fake news.
Oh, good for you. And how was it?
I don't know when they decided that they wanted to make a virtue out of selfishness.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on Earth.
I'm sorry, the dude. Your show somewhat just got taken over by the revolution.
Got hijacked.
You just got hijacked here on Lake Effect Radio. Streaming live at livestream.com/LakeEffect and LakeEffectRadio.org/studio. Yeah, that's a good mouthful for you. So, how's it going, guy?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good. How about you, Dylan?
I'm doing good.
Going good?
It's going good.
So, everyone, today starts, yet again, part 2 this week of local musicians coming in and out with Guy's show. Is that the right way to say it?
Well, my surname?
Yeah, the last one.
My surname is Snowdon. Snowdon, yeah.
Okay.
Close.
Yeah, I know. I'm really hating on butchering things. That, well, my last name, it gets butchered all the time. So, I always try not to do that. It shows a lot. You get butchered your name and that, and yeah, you never want to do that. So, with that, you want to somewhat start different things? I know we have our lovely... You want to give a shout-out to your England crowd and all that?
Damon, I know you're listening. Hello.
You can type in or the pen symbol and that, throw in a username, click save, throw in things.
Maybe not Damon. Don't do that.
Yeah, story time. Story time. Story time.
I think we have plenty of those.
I know. It'll happen in that. Or ask a question. I gotta run and answer that.
Alright, so starting with the questions. So when did you get into music?
I got into music probably a lot later than a lot of people. I think I was probably about 13, 14. Just wanted to play something to just... I wanted to just take up something in school. I wanted to do cookery, but the class was all full. Oh. So I thought, what can I just doss around in? And the only class left was music, and it just so happened to kind of be the right decision. I'd be flipping burgers if it wasn't for you.
Yeah. So what musicians got you into, or you originally into?
I would probably say early on Queen, then massive Beatles fan, listening to a lot of kind of bands that originated with that kind of early rock sound, like the Kinks and the Who and all that kind of stuff. And then a lot later I kind of discovered a lot more kind of British rock bands from like the 90s and like Oasis and Blur and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty much indie British rock and old school kind of 60s stuff.
That was a good fail.
Yeah. Biffed it.
Especially because I was able to pull that right out of the jack too. Okay. Good idea. Not break the headphones. That's a good one.
They still work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check one.
Silly Dylan.
So, did you start like with any instruments or?
Yeah, I started. Well, I kind of started on 3. I instantly just took up bass, drums, and guitar, and then I'd always sung, but never professionally kind of thing, and I always favoured bass and drums over guitar. So then when I was asked to join a band, I wanted to just play bass, but I also wanted to sing at that point, and I said we kept on auditioning singers, and there was a note in a song which just nobody could hit, so I kicked a singer out of the room to go and practice with another guitarist. And I just said to the other guitarist who'd written the song, I said, look, do you just want it sung this way? So I sang it, and I kind of have been just singing for bands ever since. So
nice. Very cool. Very cool.
I think the singer at the time knew he was out from that moment. So
Fair enough.
yeah.
Definitely does happen. You want me to go?
Yeah, you go. You can,
Okay.
I'll have my cheat sheet.
I'll go after this.
No. How evil do you want me to get?
Depending on what that means.
Okay. We'll go here.
Okay.
If you had a choice to either work or perform with anyone that inspires you or idolize, who would it be? Somewhat evil.
Yeah, it's difficult. I can't work with myself.
Yeah, that would be a little awkward.
Yeah. Just be attracted to each other. I think I would probably say somebody along the lines of John Lennon. Yeah, I think you know, songwriting, just for figuring out all the ways that he worked with songs, you know, to just learn from that kind of thing. But I think performance-wise, my dream would be, you know, to sing for as an English pianist musician called Jules Holland, and I just have this. My big dream is to sing. He has something called the Rhythm and Blues Orchestra, which is like this big orchestra behind him, and it's just amazing songs that they can do, and I'd just love to front them for a bit. So that would kind of be where I'm at, because that's realistic to some extent. Whether it would happen, I don't know.
I gotcha.
So yeah.
So I got a question. So whereabouts in England?
I'm from an area called Birmingham, England.
Birmingham.
Yeah,
All right.
famous for Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, Zeppelin, ELO, my grandma, and other people. Yeah, so pretty much the home of metal.
Nice.
Yeah, so like Cleveland's the home of American rock. Birmingham, England's like where those kind of bands started.
I gotta look. What was that studio where was it Black Keys all that recorded? Darn it. I'm blanking on that now. Wonder if that's near your area. Let me see. So I know Chill was there. And they were recording.
I'll have a Google.
Let me see. Liverpool. Not that. Music. Was Otto's. Was it Otto something? No. Man, they didn't make this easy to find. Here. Oh, is it Motor Music one?
No, don't know that one.
No.
That went well.
I figure I would take a stab at it, you know. Yeah, Black Keys, all that recorded there and all that.
Okay, was that? So I'm presuming that was in England.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I was actually sort of impressed when I seen that. Wonder if that was in your neighborhood.
No.
Darn.
I don't know that one.
It's
quite a few recording studios.
Oh, I know. I know. I just figured, you know, and that. Sort of throw it out there.
Yeah.
So have you like you travel? Did you travel a lot while you were over in England? Like, I mean, like go to other nearby
Other countries?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I haven't done a massive amount of travelling. done the obvious, like France, Italy, and all those kind of places. But it's, I don't know. So yeah, I'd say I've probably, when I know people who haven't left the United States, because you probably don't need to. You know, I probably travelled a lot more than the average.
Yeah, because over there it's like a train ride, and you're like,
yeah. Only takes a couple of hours to get to France from a train.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or you could swim
ferry.
in a day.
Yeah.
I think it's 24 miles across the channel.
Jeez.
I just float. I don't swim.
I'm surprised you didn't say I used my imagination.
No, I don't take drugs.
Well, that was more SpongeBob, but okay, you know, drugs, that sort of works too. We want to go that dark. Yeah, that's fine. I feel it.
I took a trip, but not that trip.
Do we want to jump over to it? A track?
Yeah, you wanna?
Yeah, sure.
Your choice. Except it didn't pop. There we go.
Go for
You got
the Hammer Falls, if you like.
Okay.
Yeah, this is one of mine.
Here we go.
Well, that's pretty sweet.
Thank you very much.
What's your method to like writing songs?
There isn't really one. It's basically I'm lucky enough to be able to work from home. I look after my daughter, and she's 2.5, so she still needs a nap. So my method is putting my daughter to bed. She sleeps for pretty much bang on 2 hours a day in the morning, and I write and record songs within the 2 hours. So that's pretty much it. Just try and push as many out as possible, as the actress said to the bishop.
So is there any story behind the song you just played, or just...
No, not really. It's pretty much, it just goes where, I think, probably going back to your previous question, when I write a song, I just sit there with the guitar. I'll think of a drum beat, and I just literally just try and come up with a riff or just some vocal melody, and I just go from there. So with this song, it was just I had this riff that I thought was cool. I just needed the songs that you're playing are going to be on an EP that I'm going to release shortly, and I needed an opener, something that was hard hitting, something that was just short, sweet, but you kind of got where it was going to take you, kind of thing. So it served its purpose. It just needed to be a 2-3 minute song, and yeah. So that's pretty much. There is no meaning behind that song, unless you'd like to think of one. Then feel free. It's all about DIY because it's called the Hammer Falls. There you go.
Very cool. So is it difficult trying to get like everything to play together?
If you're a bad musician, probably. No, you know, it's my song. If I make a mistake and I think the mistake fits, then hey, it works, you know.
Yeah.
It's no, I'd probably say just practice, probably, and the fact that I try and play for 2 hours every day. When I do write something, yeah, of course, everything takes a few takes to make sure that I've got the perfect take for it. It's still not perfect, you know.
Mm-hmm.
These are still tracks that, I'm sure if I paid a professional studio to go and record, I'd come up with a product 100 times better than what I can do at home. But actually, at the minute, what I can produce and what anybody can produce, you know, you've got to realise we've now got technology in a little box the size no bigger than an iPad. That's far superior than what Abbey Road had when they were recording, you know, Sgt. Pepper and stuff like that. So it's just experience with the equipment, and you know, I'm every day I'm learning new techniques. You know, constantly hassling my friend back in the UK to try and, hey, how can I do this? Always sending me links to things on YouTube, which are always really handy and stuff like that. So, you know, woo, go Damon.
So what's been your best musical experience so far?
My best musical experience, probably a few years ago. I was in a band with my friend Damon, and we had the opportunity to play a soccer stadium, football, if you're English, and we played in front of about 10,000 people, and it was basically because our fiddle player at the time was suffering from cancer, and we went and we played, and it was just fantastic. We've never been heckled by so many people. It was just brilliant, and to experience playing in such a big place with all of those people, just whether they were all watching, I think probably 4 or 5 in the crowd probably were. Maybe 6 were listening, but just to stand there in a stadium to playing music was just awesome.
And so, going with that, what was your worst musical experience, or if you had one?
My worst musical experience. I think it was probably the last ever. I don't know. I don't have many because they're all unique. But I did. Actually, yeah, same band, same covers band. We were paid to go and play a wedding, and we played for. I think we were supposed to play for 2 hours, and I think we got about an hour and 15 minutes in, and the bride came up to us, and we realised that, you know, this wasn't a standard wedding party. You know, this was in the morning, kind of lunchtime thing. Everybody looked really hungover.
Oh,
and we just thought, this isn't. I think it was an actual after wedding party for guests who couldn't attend the day.
Yeah.
And the bride just came up to us and said, "You can go home now, guys, if you want." And we said, "Well, we've got a couple more songs to do. We'll do that." And she just went, "No, go home." So we were sent home. We weren't bad. We played solidly. It was probably one of our better played gigs because it was actually during the day. But then there was another time where it was the last time I played a venue called the Cavern in Liverpool, made famous by the Beatles, and it was in my first ever band, and the guitarist turned around and said, "Hey, let's throw this song in," and we hadn't played this song for about 3 years, so none of us really remembered it. And we got halfway through our set, and it came to this song, and I think the guy who said let's play the song actually messed it up, and he just put the guitar down and just walked straight off.
Really?
And we were like, oh, okay, great. So we're left as a 3-piece for a song.
All right. How important is image for you?
Have you seen me? Image, image is interesting. Having a child and getting fat, turning into a dad is not a cool thing to do. And I think, I'd probably say for a gig, I always want to look smart.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just wear ripped jeans. I want to make sure that, because I'm part of the products I'm trying to sell.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing for me. At the end of the day, if I look like a piece of and I sound fantastic, then, or I sound awful and I look like rubbish, then it's not going to sell as well as if I look approachable and if I look clean and I sound good. What's the better seller? So at least have a shower before a gig. That's the bare minimum. Clothes is second.
Yeah, that would be. That would be. You like how serious that was?
Yeah. You looked at me really deep and I feel really awkward now. Yeah.
Oh, is Tom Brady softer than Cristiano Ronaldo?
Probably Tim.
Yeah.
I don't know who either of those are. I'm presuming
Patriot
they're
QB
sports.
soccer player.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I would probably say they're pretty both soft because they're overpaid for a pretty rubbish thing. But that's my, that's my view. I don't like sports,
Fair enough.
Yeah. Sorry.
So have you played in any other states here in...
Have I played in any other states? Not. Have I? No, I don't think I have. I sang at other people's homes in other states, but not at
Fair
venues.
enough.
No. I've been here a year and a half, so I'm just trying to, at the minute, concentrate on the Cleveland area.
Mm-hmm.
Because literally moving over from England, I knew absolutely nobody. I'd never been to Ohio or Cleveland,
Yeah.
I'd been to other states because that's where some of my wife's family are. But for me, it's just about building up
That base.
a reputation. Whether you can call it a reputation, I don't know. But just a group of friends, kind of thing. Just to start off with friends, So.
The fan base, all that, and
fingers crossed. Hopefully, I'll get the opportunity to go out. I'm getting, my being working from home. I do a lot of recording from other people. So I just recently did some work for a guy in Chile. And I get work from England still. So
okay,
luckily, technology means that I don't have to travel that far.
Yeah.
But for performance-wise, I would love the opportunity to go out of state. But at the minute, it's not important for me because I need to concentrate on here and now.
going to that, a year from today, where do you want to be with your work?
A year from today, where do I want to be from my work? Consistent, I think, would be the word that I'd like. I am just starting, literally these last few months, I'm just starting as going out as just myself. I've always relied on bands. Last year I did a small duo, and it wasn't really working. We didn't really click in terms of just personally. Musically, it was solid. It was very good, but we were too different. So now, after my wife just years of just saying you're good enough to do it on your own, it's now got to a stage where I'm thinking, if it's only me doing it, then it's only myself to blame if I don't. So so now I've just concentrated on me. So I would say in a year's time, I want to be more consistent, more regular work as in a performer, and just having fun and knowing people, because as I said, I don't know anybody. I've got to make fans, I've got to make venues, connections. I need all of this kind of stuff to just get going again. When you're 29, and I've done it since I was 17, 18, performance, to suddenly start again, you realise that actually it is a hell of a lot of work.
Yeah.
True. Very true.
So I know you brought it up earlier, but question is what you're working on, but I know you say you're working on the EP. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you want to go in like a little detail about it.
Yeah, the EP is just going to be a small selection of some of my songs. I've got a big back catalogue, and I've never, because I'm doing this now on my own, I'm not thinking of doing it as a band, I'm just thinking I can do this as quickly or as slowly as I want, getting out to meet people like you guys with this EP. It's just about being able to send it to radio stations, send it to the right people to say, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is what I sound like. It's more of a commercial approach in terms of needing to get the connections with the stations rather than selling it to people. These songs, I don't think I'll put a CD for sale, but they'll probably be for sale on iTunes at some point. But for the EP, they're just 4 good rock songs to just kind of get the initial idea of what I'm about. For me, it's all about rock.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I can enjoy that.
There you go. Hopefully you'll enjoy the EP then.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah? Sounded very hesitant.
Do you guys want to jump to another song?
Yeah, can do if you'd like.
Yeah, the next one down.
Previous playlist.
Or you could click on the flash drive. Here.
Yeah, you do it. I'm not a computer guy.
I hunt for my family.
back. So, had an interesting message up there about if you've ever met Hulk Hogan.
Depends on the authenticity of who Hulk Hogan is. So, I know who the question's from. Back in the UK, we used to play a venue out in, I think you guys call it the Boonies, and we call it the Sticks. It's in the middle of nowhere. And this guy used to turn up, and he was the spitter. He was built like Hulk Hogan. He got the tash, he got the hair colour and everything like that. And he always took a shining to all of the women. He was a very interesting character. I think he was a swinger. And he always turned up at our gigs, and it doesn't matter what time of the evening it was, he always removed his clothing. He was a absolutely brilliant guy to have in a crowd. He was absolutely mental. Off his face, he was. But yeah, so I don't know Hulk Hogan, but I know somebody who looks a lot like him and probably acts a lot like him as well.
Valid. I just like how Tim's pretending to be the utterly fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole backstory on that joke.
And that's me. The name they put after. That's me.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. The one volunteer thing we ended up doing. Every October, like Metro Parks, they have a Halloween hayride. So they are looking for people sitting up back to the script, Sir Rich, the atmosphere.
Yeah. And I showed up late, and the only costume that was a guy costume left was a cow costume that had a big udder on the front.
Just the one?
That's all they had left. Everybody else had all the
No, it just had one udder?
Well, udder with
yeah.
Face the camera and do that.
So yeah, he's never lived that down.
Yeah. There was a whole night of...
Well, that's utterly fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Literally. So what? Oh God.
It was like a good 3 hours of just utterly fantastic anything.
Yeah, many jokes. He's serving on this. I like it.
All right, but back. So who would you say you sound like, or you think there are people may have said think you sound like?
I sound like me. No, I've been told that I sound kind of like Bon Jovi and Whitesnake and all that voice-wise.
Okay.
I don't hear it. I
could sort of see
that. I hear other people, as in just me. Yeah. But I was once referred to sounding like Paul Rodgers from Free, and I really didn't like that. Really didn't.
Yeah, I could see that.
But yeah, at the end of the day, the people who comment about my voice, it's usually kind of along the Bon Jovi, Whitesnake kind of Deep Purple kind of line. So
yeah, I was gonna say because I know I said Birmingham, where I do kind of like hear like you and like in Zeppelin, like the Robert Plant, like a little bit, like even like the structure.
Big influence on those,
yeah.
Especially on just the vocal delivery. I think I listen to all those kind of bands, and being fortunate enough to have the vocal range that I can get high and incredibly low, why not use it? So for me, it's just a style of singing that's easy, and I enjoy it, and
So what's your favorite Zeppelin album?
Physical Graffiti.
Physical Graffiti?
Yeah. But it only needs to be, I think it's like Kashmir onwards. It's like the second half of Abbey Road. I can just listen to it all day. I can give or take the first few tracks, but after Kashmir, to me, it's just perfect.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
All right, what was the first song you can remember playing?
As in on guitar?
On guitar.
first song I ever played. I remember I used to sit in my room and play an Oasis song called Cigarettes and Alcohol over and over again. And I never knew the words. And I remember singing it one time thinking I was alone in the house, and my brother just overheard me and just said, "They're not the words." And I was really embarrassed. But if you play that song, it's also the same chords as T-Rex, Children of the Revolution. No, Get It On.
Get It On.
Yeah.
No.
Gripping stuff.
You got any questions, Jeremiah?
Oh, of course I do. I'm sort of that musical dictionary. So, how would you best describe the difference in the scene between England to the United States?
From when I left England, depending on the scene, you know, if you were in a covers band, it was very small and difficult. A lot of venues still to this day are closing down in England. You know, I think in the city that I'm from, I think they were closing down a venue that hosted live music every week. You know, so they were cropping up and then just disappearing. So it was a very difficult thing. I have noticed over here the difference between the scene is the fact that people go out over here. Even if it's just for a band that they don't know, they just want to go out and see live music. And you don't really get that in England anymore. Whether you've had it, you know, I'll have to ask Damon if when he was younger, because he's a lot older than me, of whether that was ever the case. But no, over here you do see that the music scene is a lot more vibrant and versatile, you know, in terms of the different acts that are going around, and everybody seems so much more approachable to help each other. You know, that's another nice thing that there seems to be a kind of attitude to English bands thinking, oh yeah, my band's better than yours kind of thing, and over here it's just, hey, you're another band, you know, it's not a competition.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
Very valid. If you had a choice to play any venue around the world, where would it be?
Well, I played my dream venue for my third ever gig, and that was the Cavern in Liverpool, because I'm a huge Beatles fan. So that was a big moment for me. I think my dream venue would be any venue that just paid well. And, you know, when you get paid well and you play and you've got a crowd and they enjoy it, you know, there's no better place to be. So I'd say anywhere that you can get a crowd and you can get paid, you know, that to me is a dream. And, you know, it's, you know, an easy target.
Yeah, true. I'll give you that.
So do you get nervous before putting on or playing?
Before playing, I never really have, no. But I will say, doing it on my own now, I've done a couple of little bits for people, and just being up there on my own is something that I'm having to learn, you know. You don't have other people to fall back on, so I have been getting nervous. And as soon as I'm up there, I'm fine. You know, I actually, the other day, I've got a gig coming up. You can find the details on my Facebook. And they wanted to hear some of my songs, and they wanted a couple of covers, and they wanted to hear an original song. And I played Tom Petty Free Falling for 5-6 years now. I'm a huge Tom Petty fan, know the words inside and out. And I was just put in a room with this a cappella choir, and there was about 50 ladies in front of me. And I've never been so nervous in my life. You know, I was sat in a hall with all these ladies, and I forgot the words. And I just crumbled, and I felt like a child. Like, oh my God, how have I forgotten the words to a song that I just have always known?
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, being in a band, I've never really gotten nervous, but yeah, on my own, I'm starting to kind of work on it to not get nervous. So.
Yeah.
I gotcha. When and where can people
catch you playing live?
Yeah, so I've got a few gigs coming up. On June the 15th, I'm at Panini's Bar in Coventry, Cleveland Heights area. And I think I'm kind of starting at about 6:30. I'm also doing a gig with Michelle Romery.
Know that person?
She's been fantastic. She was one of the people that I approached first to kind of say, hey, you know, I'm new to this scene, can you help out? And she contacted me probably about a month ago and just said, hey, would you be interested in doing a gig? And we're playing at the Beachland Tavern on May the 24th, and I think I'm opening at 7 o'clock p.m.
Nice.
Not in the morning, because that would be stupid.
Yeah. Maybe too early too.
Yeah,
just a little.
Definitely. But I've got this Acapalooza gig. I think it's April the 24th. That's a ticketed event at the Music Box Supper Club. Is it?
Yeah.
So that's going to be a fun day. I think there's like 4 hours of music. Not just of me, because that would be incredibly boring. But no, it's going to be a great day, that one as well. So yeah.
Cool. Speaking of live, when you do live show, do you ever like sometimes improv like stuff in your song, or maybe like change up lyrics?
I always used to do it. Whether I'd do it as a solo act now, probably not. Maybe in the future. But when I used to go out with bands, I used to change lyrics quite a lot, just for fun.
Yeah.
One thing that I did with my first ever band, I always used to do it a lot. They'd always used to nag me on stage, introduce the band again, plug our MySpace, because we used MySpace at that time.
Yeah.
And I always used to introduce the band as, you know, I think we were once broadcast on the BBC radio, and I introduced us as Fleetwood Mac. You know, I never took it seriously.
Yeah.
You gotta have a little fun with it, you know.
That's it. But with lyrics wise, if I ever used to forget a lyric, I used to sing other lyrics in there. I used to go to the Beatles song "I Am the Walrus" as a go-to because it was just so random. Somehow you could find a line that would fit, you know. So I used to change the lyrics a lot.
Very cool.
Very true.
Got a question?
Oh, of course I do. Of course I do.
He does.
No, here. I'm just sitting there thinking what I want to do. Okay, out of your own work, the top 3 songs that you would say, this is my best work.
Ooh, of my songs. I think it's difficult because back in the UK I got to know a guy who was a producer for a major record label, and he always liked my voice. He was like a bubblegum pop. So like your NSYNC, he was a songwriter for those and producer for those kind of things. So he'd never really. I don't think he'd even heard of Def Leppard, or the Damned and stuff like that. So when I went to him with my songs and said, "What do you think of these?" He was kind of like, I don't like them, kind of thing. But he taught me how to kind of write in a commercial way. So I personally, I have some very, very commercial, happy songs that I really like, whether I play them live, because they are, to me, they don't kind of give that rock voice, you know. Kind of thing. They're all very happy. But there's one song in particular that I probably will eventually change the lyrics to be less happy. But you know, for me, I would probably say that was one of my best, because it was just a good song, and every time I pick up my guitar, I just want to sing it. And so I'd say that one, which is called what's it called? Dreams. I would probably say I'm really digging. I think it's the last track that you guys are going to play. It's a song called Going Down, and I have another track called Giving Time. I have a version on my SoundCloud. There's two parts to Giving Time. We record. I was stuck between. The overall guitar riff is just this big, heavy sound. It's great little riff, but for some reason, I just went off in two directions, and I just wrote two different versions of the song. And there's one particular version. It was the original version of the song, which I always just preferred over the second. But it's not to say that the second one's not bad, not good. Mm-hmm. It's a great song again. But I do like the first one of part one of Giving Time. That's really cool, which will be uploaded onto iTunes very soon with the rest of the tracks. So
very cool. All right, so because I know you say you cover some songs. What's your top three favorite songs if you cover to cover?
I always loved my last covers band's version of Kashmir. We were 2 guitars, acoustic, an electric 12-string, just this amazing fiddle player, and what did he play? Oh, we played drums, and we had 3-part harmony, and we just did Kashmir, and it was always killer. It was a setup that you never expected to hear that song with. We were doing Eagles songs. We did a version of Seven Bridges Road, which is, big harmonised song, and then suddenly we just went into, an ass-kicking version of Kashmir. It was really, really cool. And that was the song that actually got us to play in the stadium, because the home team for the stadium ran on to the pitch to Kashmir. But yeah, I always like playing that one. There are songs I enjoy singing and not playing. I always enjoy singing Dead or Alive. I don't like playing it. But
there's no harm in that. Every once in a while that happens.
But I would also, I'd probably say Seven Bridges Road as well. I've never done it since, but with the two guys, when we clicked on the vocals for that song, it was really tight, and it sounded really. And I think that's what made that band always get a crowd, because we just did the songs that you wouldn't expect to hear, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Very true. Let's see. Yeah, that is true. Jeremiah does always have questions.
The interview derailer.
It sort of happens in that. Like, the good thing, if you had to best describe your music to someone that's never necessarily heard you or knew you, how would you best describe it?
If I was going off on my EP, I would probably say, I just want to write good rock songs, I'm not all about big flashy guitar solos. I'm pretty sure if I was all about big flashy guitar solos, I'd spend a hell of a lot more time working on guitar solos. For me, it's all about just good vocals, a good riff, and just a good song. Being a vocalist as my main instrument, I think that is the most important thing for me. Is vocal delivery. It's the hook to the song. I think far more than guitar riffs and stuff like that. If you've got this absolutely incredible guitar riff and then you've got some really weak vocal, then it can completely ruin a song. But for me, if I was to just say, what do you expect from my songs, I would just say good solid rock, I'd like to say.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Probably British rock, because there is a difference. I don't know how to write American rock.
It'll come with time. It'll develop.
So have you made it to the Rock Hall?
Yeah, I'm a member.
Oh,
and I played the Rock Hall half marathon last year, which
Very
was
cool.
great fun.
Nice.
Yeah. It's probably the biggest crowd I've ever played to, but they just run right past you. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's my favourite place to be. So I love that place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think,
Especially since Bon Jovi's keen entered in.
yeah, I'm going next week.
Oh, you are going?
Yeah. So that should be good fun.
Yeah.
So
Very
cool.
true. Want to go to the next
Oh,
track?
yeah. Let's jump to the next track.
yeah,
Going-
so this next track is it Going Down, I think?
Yeah, Going
Yeah,
Down.
so we've got Going Down next.
When I think back to the life we had, I was blind. When I think back to the life we had, I was blind. Going down, going down. Given my confession, I hope you learn
The dude got hijacked Revolution. No.
Yeah.
I had to think of that for a second. A little late on that pun.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Sure, right, you good?
Huh?
All right. How do you handle mistakes if you make a mistake during?
I laugh. No, I think you know, when you make a mistake, this is probably another reason why I get nervous now, is the fact that it's me making the mistake. So just keep going. You know, for me, it's just you made a mistake. What's the worst thing that you can do? Stop and announce that you made a mistake. So try and cover it up as best.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you can't cover it up, just say, hey, you know, I'm only human at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. What would be your dream tour they would like to do?
Where people just come to my house, so I don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, we would wish a lot of things like that.
Hey, my dream tour would just be like I kind of said earlier about venues. You know, any tour that people would want to come and just listen to my music. So, you know, that's the dream basically, is that people say, hey, I like that song, I want to go hear that live.
Yeah.
You know, do I want to go and pay to see a ginger man sing? Ginger English man, so you're getting double your money, you know. So yeah, anybody that pays and anybody that just wants to come and see me perform is what we all do it for at the end of the day. It doesn't matter whether there's 20, 30, 40, 50, 50,000, 80,000 people watching you. It's all the same, you know.
Mm-hmm. So the question up there, what do you miss most about the UK?
What do I miss most about the UK? It's a difficult question. I have dealers in the UK that send me constant supplies of Yorkshire tea, as I like my tea. Do you know, one thing that myself and my wife we always comment on is we miss the history just around, you know. We've there's a lot of places where we used to hang out, you know, there's literally medieval castles crumbling, you know, that are older than your country and stuff like that. So there is just obvious history just all over the place, and you know, at the time you just kind of just take it as it's just a normal place, but when now we've come away, it's like, okay, yeah, you know, do kind of miss that kind of side of England. You know, little things like food, little types of food and stuff like that. You know, but no, you know, I still think it's too soon for me to feel any type of homesick. I haven't really felt homesick being here. But then again, my wife's American. You know, I moved over here with my wife and daughter. We've got family over here, and the fact that we live in an age where I've spoken to my brother on the phone 4 times today. You know, and 10, 15 years ago, that would have not really been possible, you know. Or if it was possible, there would have been like a 15-minute delay between words.
And probably like $100.
Yeah, exactly. But now I can call my brother.
And you can video chat him.
Yeah. Don't tend to do that because we don't like each other's faces. But yes,
I know.
We
would break technology. I got it. I got it.
But no, you know, I of course I miss being able to just drive over to my mum's, but I never really did that. You know, we actually see more of my mum from 2 holidays, us going there and her coming here, than we ever did in a year. You know, because suddenly we're seeing each other, what, 3 maybe 4 at a stretch weeks of the year, because we're having like 10 days to 2 week holidays. You know, and
more of that little appreciation.
Yeah, and we used to see each other probably once a month, and we only lived half an hour away from each other. You know, so I actually see more of my mum than I ever did. You know, so
I gotcha.
yeah.
I definitely gotcha.
So, being coming over here, is there anything that like we say that you find like being like from Cleveland, like that like you find like I notice how you said like holiday,
Okay.
like and then like it'd be like kind of vacation or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Everything you guys say, absolutely everything. No,
Is wrong.
it's not wrong. It's American. That's the one thing. You know, that's the thing. Is you guys obviously you speak the same words as me, but I class what you guys speak because you have different pronunciation to. Well, there's a word yourself. I think you guys say pronunciation. You know, you guys speak American. I speak English. You know, that's it at the end of the day. But yeah, I've got to be careful because some words that are on your list up there, we would sometimes say in a joking way, and I've said one or two words on that list that you're not allowed to say on air to somebody over here, and he pretty much asked me to leave his house. You know, and I meant it in a jokey way.
Yeah.
But you get away with that in England.
Oh, really?
You
Like,
know? Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But no, there's no. People struggle with my accent more than the words I say.
Oh.
So I think I've been asked if I'm Irish. I've been asked if they very rarely go straight to English.
Really?
And St Patrick's Day, this is the second St Patrick's Day I've been here, and both times I've been asked if I'm putting it on just for the day.
Yeah. Well, it's probably also the red hair, so they're like automatically assuming.
True. I could sort of see that falling in there, why people would think.
So, I've been asked if I'm French as well.
Really?
Huh.
I said no.
Quel dommage. Quel dommage. Spoken like a true person that knows like French.
Yeah. Mange two, mange two.
Yeah, that's what a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a decent chunk of mine in.
So here's a question for you guys.
Yes.
What do you think of my songs? There you go.
I liked your songs.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Definitely. Keep up the good work, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely going to get those in rotation by like later afternoon tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That everyone else will be hearing them.
Even better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Is that a good, answer? I know it sort of sucks just a little, just a little deep down inside. I try to, not please always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As the actress said to the bishop.
Yeah, I got a decent chunk of mine that I was thinking in that. Except maybe this, of what would be the 5-year plan that you want to see happen?
I'd probably just extend my yearly plan, more success in terms of, just trying to progress my career. I've had some great opportunities. I've worked with companies like American Greetings over here doing work for them. As I mentioned earlier, I've done work for people all over the world. I just want to carry on doing that. So for me, it's just building myself and building my company up. I worked in retail before. I'm lucky enough that when my wife was pregnant, we realised that I could stay at home and look after my daughter and try and earn as much money as possible doing what I want to do. So for me, it's okay. In 5 years' time, my daughter will be going to school.
Yeah.
And, at the end of the day, if I can still do what I'm doing now with, regular gigs and regular income and regular projects to work out from home, then I'll be a very happy person.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, outside of that, I got nothing more.
No, well, thank you very much.
Well,
Definitely. It's been a pleasure.
No, thank you very much for having me.
We'll definitely have to make sure to do a thing
Thank you.
in the future and that.
Well, when the EP's released, I'll send you guys a link, and I'll give you the rest of the songs.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
That's fine. It's not the first time, not going to be the last, you know. That's sort of the whole music thing, that doing it since like fall 2013. Yeah, it's always sort of, you know, here and there of, yeah, I could play, but yeah, I can't do anything that until I get it mastered. Okay, you know.
But
That's the industry for you.
exactly,
folks.
But no, thank you ever so much.
Oh.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.